Hey, welcome to Half the Battle, and welcome to another Toy Art Talk.
Going through my old episodes, the next one chronologically that I have the card for is Ambush. So meet the Ambush drawing. This card was released in 1990 with all original art. As usual, we'll be looking at a European carded figure, a Belgian one this time, since that's the one I have.
And there's something different here compared to the previous European cards we've looked at.
There's no more digitized explosion. It's a regular one. So does that mean that now finally the background is the same as the American one?
Nope.
Yes, the European cards had moved to a regular explosion background, but the American ones had switched to a digitized one. The US and the EU switched backgrounds.
This is baffling to me.
Did they want to keep the products distinct or something? Because I feel that the foreign languages already covered that pretty effectively.
Except if you are in the UK, of course.
For the longest time, G.I.Joe had been known in the UK as Action Force. By the time Ambush came out, however, they had completely dropped the Action Force name and just called it G.I. Joe. This would make the cards pretty much identical to the US ones. And Hasbro still wanted to make them different enough to avoid confusion, hence the background switcheroo. And all of Europe got the same card art, so here we are.
Okay, so I'm no longer baffled. Well, not about that anyway.
What baffles me now is an art change between the US and Euro Ambush drawing. The US version shows his netting covering him. The EU version, for reasons I can't begin to fathom, does not. They made the drawing less detailed. I don't get why.
Anyway, so far this has been more talk about international variants instead of a proper toy art talk.
So let's discuss the drawing itself.
It's not great.
Some of that is because of the packaging. He's got instructions on how to use his accessories, and that takes up a lot of room. So part of the explosion is behind the green background. Yeah, that means there's a background behind the background. Pretend I made the Inception noise here. Yet his legs and ass are in front of the green, making the whole composition something MC Escher would have been proud of. But all that is just nitpicking, really.
What? Me? Nitpick? I'm as shocked as you are.
The big problem with this drawing is they forgot to do something.
And it's an unforgivable mistake!
They didn't color in his mustache. Look at his face! It's flesh-colored! Ambush has one of the, if not the most glorious mustache in the history of G.I. Joe. A thing to marvel at. And that card art shows it such disrespect.
That's disgusting! I spit on this card! Well, I would spit on it, but, mask. Plus, this is still a carded figure, so it's worth a pretty penny, and adding my spit to it wouldn't increase the value, I don't think.
And okay, it's not all bad. The character has a good dynamic pose, and the camo is very detailed. More detailed than on the figure even, so a lot of work did go into this. But it doesn't excuse the flaws, especially on the European version that doesn't have the netting. Moving on, I don't have the Dino Hunter set or box that has the second version of Ambush, so I can't really comment on it. But I did check it out online, and while you can say a lot of bad things about it,
and I have,
they at least colored in his freaking mustache for that piece of art. Since this toy is from 1990, I can't confirm if this was also from the hand of Hector Garrido, and I'm kinda hoping it isn't, because since starting Toy Art Talk, I've begun to expect better from the man than this. Overall, yeah, it's not without its charm, like most art from the original G.I. Joe line, but this one just has too many flaws.
And that's about it. But since I've got the card here anyway, I'll give you a little bit of foreign file card fun.
His French name is Embuscade, which is just a translation of the word ambush, so that tracks. But in Dutch, his name is Chameleon. Yeah, that means chameleon. Big surprise there. So in Dutch, the name puts more emphasis on his camouflage abilities than on his ambushing ones. I don't really know why they gave him a unique name and didn't just use a direct translation, since the Dutch word for ambush, hinderlaag, would work well enough as a code name.
Well, that does about wrap it up.
I do have to say that I didn't know about stuff like the missing netting on the Euro version until starting Toy Art Talk. It's amazing what things can surprise me even after all these years.
And I'm glad I can share this sort of thing with all of you. Well, I'll see you next time, everybody. And hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing?
Okay, I only just got this as I was editing and looking at the detailed pictures of the card, but there is some netting visible on the European card. Not all of it, just here and there, and very, very subdued. This just makes it a whole lot weirder to me, and I thought I'd just include this, seeing as eagle-eyed viewers would pick up on it.